Hello and welcome everybody to this week's episode of This Week Today. My name is Chase Majerus. Welcome to the spookiest season that was ever imagined. Yes, welcome to October. Welcome to Halloween. I hope you like this little guy going right here. That's my little jack-o'-lantern. Even though it's in the 80s here in San Diego, I hope that the autumn wind is coming to your town to cool things off and get you ready to watch some horror flicks and get you ready for the spooky season. On this week's episode of This Week Today, we want to talk about an important conference that's happening. It's called Latitude, all right? If you go on their website, Latitude is the only business and media event focused on the new mainstream economy driven by U.S. Latinos. Yes, Latitude has a critical role to play in calling attention to the many ways in which our country is depending on the U.S. Latino cohort to drive the new mainstream economy, all right? So let's talk about what's been happening and what's happened already at Latitude. Like I already said, all right? Latitude is the largest event in the U.S. that focuses on the new mainstream economy driven by the Latino community. Attendees include leaders and CEOs from some pretty big companies: Nike, the Walt Disney Company, Sony Pictures Entertainment, PayPal, Bank of America, AT&T, and Home Depot. Yeah, this is not a joke. This is a huge deal.
It ain't no joke, as Rakim said.
Gary Acosta, the co-founder and CEO of the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals and co-founder of Latitude, of course, says that the event aims to educate the business community about what the Latino community represents in this country. He was even quoted as saying, quote, "Latinos are no longer a niche part of the marketplace. We are driving economic growth in all sorts of different directions, and we have the highest workforce participation." Moving on to a section I like to call Confuse Your Viewers with Numbers. According to the 2021 Latino Donor Collaborative U.S. Latino GDP report, it's quite a name, the total economic output of Latinos in the United States in 2019, which is the last time that they had those numbers actually recorded, was $2.7 trillion. So much more than 2010, by the way, which was $1.7 trillion. Specifically, finance and real estate, which is $252 billion or 9.3% of the U.S. Latino GDP, is one of the top contributors to the Latino GDP. In addition, bringing this down to the individuals, Latinos will drive 70% of homebuyer activity over the next 20 years. That's a lot for a long time. Most of them creating wealth through home ownership for the first time. Matthew Feinup, who is the chief economist at the Center for Economic Research and Forecasting, said this, quote, "Latinos are the driver of U.S. economic growth, and they go where jobs go." How do we know? Really, how do we know? Well, we know because there's a report that says Latinos have contributed close to 3/4 of the entire labor force expansion since the Great Recession. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of This Week Today, where we recapped all of the important things that have been happening at the Latitude Conference right here in San Diego. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll see you guys on the next episode, maybe from the spooky layer, maybe from somewhere else. Who knows? We'll see you then.